Well, let's talk to Ron Delnevo, who is from the Payment Choice Alliance. You can get involved with this as well, of course, 0808 100 1049. Ron, morning.
Good morning.
Just first of all, what is the Payment Choice Alliance?
We're an organisation that's campaigning to make sure cash remains a choice for the British public. The banks want to take cash away. They're closing all their branches down, ripping out ATMs, and they don't want cash to be available as a choice. And we think that's wrong. And the British public agree with us. We surveyed people, and over 80% said they want to continue to have the option to use cash.
80% may say they want the option to use cash, but they don't.
Oh, many people still do. The figures are exaggerated. Nearly 20% of purchases last year were made using cash. And in fact, credit card use went down more significantly than cash use in the last 12 months. So the truth is, a lot of people still do use cash. About 60% of people in the country use cash regularly and spend about £3,000, £3,500 a year, which is not small potatoes. So the banks play down the use of cash because they want to try and persuade us that a cashless society is a good idea. It isn't. It's a very bad idea.
Why?
Because it's restricting choice, and also it gives the card schemes too much power over us. If there's no competition from cash, they can do what they like. Do you know there were over 2 million card scams and other payment frauds in the first 6 months of this year? Those aren't my figures. That's UK Finance figures. That's the Trade Association of the Banks. 2 million frauds. That went up 17% from the previous year. This is out of control, but it's kind of concealed while we're told, oh, isn't it wonderful? Let's have no limit on contactless. Let cash die away because it's old-fashioned. Cash works, always works, unlike systems which fade and fall. So, we've got to maintain cash. As for the contactless limit, 78% of people told the FCA they didn't want to interfere with the contactless limit. So why is the FCA pushing on with this? Because it pleases the banks more than the public. Why is the public not being put first? We put the public first. Why is the FCA not doing that?
It's an interesting issue, this, isn't it, really? Because people do get very exercised about it, particularly the idea that there wouldn't be cash. Because I would imagine most people, correct me if I'm wrong here, most people, even if you do most of your, financial business through your phone or on a card or whatever, most people use a bit for nipping to the shop next door or whatever. Is that true?
Oh, absolutely. There's only about 5 or 6 million people in this country, adults in this country, that lead entirely cashless lives. That means over 50 million people use cash occasionally, which is the kind of thing that you're talking about, or frequently. So, yeah, people still find cash useful. They still, give to charities in the street using cash, because even though many charities provide the collectors with card readers, very few people choose to use them, quite frankly, because of security concerns. And they're right to be worried about security, because I already told you there were 2 million scams in the first half of this year alone. So cash has its uses for almost everybody, and many people still spend a lot of cash each year. And of course, there's a number of people, probably around about 1.5 million people, still only use cash because they don't have access to other payment systems. So it's important to the vast majority of people, and it's absolutely vital to a small proportion of the population, and we need to keep it going for those reasons.
Just very briefly, is there, though, an inexorability to this? I mean, what's the mood music from government and so on? Is this just, in a generation, will we still even be having this discussion because it's just gone?
Well, in Sweden in 2008, it was the poster child of cashless, and he said that it would be cashless within a decade. Sweden has gone completely the other way now and ordered the banks to keep providing cash to the public. We're not going to go cashless in this country because it's not what the public wants. And governments get elected by the public, and if this government or any other government tries to introduce cashless, they won't be in office any longer. It's as simple as that.
Ron, thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you. Ron Delnevo, who is from the Payment Choice Alliance.